Hi everyone, we'll make Sri Lankan onion fry, which we call a lunu vedumu today. Let's start with the onion. I'm going to fry them in a pan. I'll cut them into thin slices and actually loosen it up, like pressing it to separate all the slices. And I'm adding oil about 50 ml. So if you take 500 grams of onion, just use 10% of the oil, so that's 50 ml. That should be enough. And I'm doing it a bit of a different way, just to make sure it's quick and easy, and also we don't use too much of oil to deep fry them. Otherwise, if I'm to deep fry them as a normal way, it'll take a lot of time. Now close it and leave it on medium heat, and then mix it in between so that it doesn't get burned, and wait until it gets translucent and cooks through. Now leave them open. It's getting brown, like turning brown a little bit by bits, and then make sure you keep an eye on it, otherwise it'll get burnt. Keep stirring continuously, and then once you see that most of the onions are getting turned into a little bit darker, you can take it off from the stove, or just switch the stove off. You'll see the difference. Once the onion starts turning brown, it doesn't take too long to get it burnt, so make sure you keep an eye on it. Now this is almost done. Now also, once you take it off from this frying, it also cooks through while it's removed from the pan as well. So don't keep it too much, otherwise it'll be too burnt. You won't be able to eat it. Now we'll take it off from the stove. Now I'm just pressing it down to make sure the oil is strained properly and mostly, and remove it to a paper towel. Once you move it to the paper towel, make sure that you separate it as well, otherwise it'll be stuck to each other. And if you keep it too long to do this, it won't be nice as well. It won't be crunchy as you want it to be. You can save the leftover oil because you can use them later on for a fried rice or a biryani rice, which is really tasty, which makes it really tasty if you use them. Now let's start roasting the cashews. I'm actually using the same pan. I've just wiped off all the oil with a paper towel. Make sure it's just brown. When it's starting to get brown, you can take it off and leave it aside. Just make sure you don't get them burnt, that's all. Similarly, we'll do the peanuts as well. Once the peanuts are turning brown, we'll move it again, set it aside. Now this is Maldive fish. If you don't want or you don't like them, you can leave this. It can be optional, you can leave it out as well, but it gives a nice flavor to it, and it won't take more than 2 minutes to fry roast as well, so make sure you don't burn it. Take it off from the stove and put it set aside. That's butter. Now you can use vegetable oil or any kind of oil to substitute this, but I like using butter because it gives a nice flavor to the curry leaves, and as well as a little salty taste too. I'm adding curry leaves there. Mainly you have to make sure that nothing gets burnt, so make sure you keep an eye out every time you deep fry something. So when it gets a little bit darker color, I'm going to take it out. You don't need to make this brown. And keep aside on a paper towel so it'll absorb all the oil. Using the same oil, we'll do the rest of the ingredients. Now I'm adding the garlic, and then the ginger, once it turns brown, it'll be enough. That's the chili flakes. Now you can reduce the amount of chili flakes if you don't want it to be too hot, but as long as you have some sort of spiciness in it, it'll give a nice flavor. I'm adding the cashew nuts there, roasted, the peanuts. I'm just adding everything to mix it well now. Make sure you combine everything properly so it is evenly distributed. Onion, next we'll add the curry leaves, and some people actually add banana blossom thinly sliced and deep fried as well. It'll give a nice texture and a different taste, but it is not a must, it's just an optional item. That's the curry leaves. and finally the Maldive fish. Finally, I'm adding some salt here. I'm adding about half a teaspoon, but you can add more according to your taste. Mix well, and that is actually done. That's how I make my onion fry. You can serve this with any rice and curry or fried rice. Also, you can use this as a side dish. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram at absoluteneys. Thanks again. See you next time.